Welcome to Old Faithful. I'm host Matt Trask. Thanks to Perfect Wave Productions. My thanks to Steve down here making us look good. Perfect Wave Productions, of course, in addition to filming me every other week, they specialize in live sound sales and installation and service. They do have some instruments here in the store and amps, but mostly it's live sound support, sales, and service. Please support my friends at Black Hills Blend Espresso, 4 convenient locations here in Rapid City. Thank you to everyone who participated in the Old Faithful Holiday Giveaway. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your support. On to the good stuff, and boy howdy do we have some good stuff. Mr. Dylan Lewis, who I finally got to meet, 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago. Hate Camp, or not Hate Camp.
Lost Cabin.
Yep.
Yes. So this is the portion of the show where I say, hey, insert name here, tell us about you, with emphasis on your musical journey.
Sure. Okay, so, my name is Dylan Lewis, and I've been playing music pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
I just, started on piano when I was 5, and got into the guitar when I was a teenager. I had a friend that, would play guitar at parties and get-togethers and stuff like that. He played classic rock music, and I just thought it was really, really cool. And so
sure,
picked up guitar and then just got pretty serious about it right away. I think when I was 16, and have just been pretty obsessed with it ever since. So.
So there are 2 ways we start piano at 5. Number 1 is that we're a child who just seems to be magnetized to a piano, plunking out sounds. Or number 2, we have a mom who thinks it's important. So which one were you? You had a mom.
Yep.
At 5 years old, so she really wasn't screwing around.
Yeah. And that's if my memory serves me correctly. I mean, maybe I was 6. I'm not sure.
Well,
I was
6.
just sure. I was very young, and my mom is a virtuoso pianist, classical style.
Really?
She's
okay.
And she's never played out and gotten too out there, but she's definitely a really, really
very good
pianist. Yep.
She never really performed. Did she perform in college or anything?
She never really performed.
Just sat down and became a classically trained pianist.
Yeah, she took a lot of lessons when she was a kid. She took a lot of lessons, and then she took lessons from, I forget his name, a college instructor while she was still in high school. And then I think that was the extent of her formal learning, and then just taught herself a lot of stuff after that. It's very, very good.
I see. So does she still play?
Not too much anymore.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Well, that will happen.
Yeah. I don't think it'll ever happen with me unless I, chop my hand off with a saw.
Things can happen,
like
Yeah, but I hope they don't.
Yeah.
So were you at 5 or maybe 6? Were you as excited about piano as she was?
No, I was not.
This is a common answer.
I kind of enjoyed it sometimes, but it kind of felt like a terrible chore.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Anything that we're made to do at 6 years old becomes not fun in a hurry.
Yeah, for sure. So I do appreciate it, though, because I feel like it kind of helps me to be a better musician.
Well, sure. And what was our first piano? What did we learn on?
Oh, gosh.
Was there like a Yamaha Baby Grand in the living room?
No, it was an upright Grand.
Okay.
That I believe she got from a saloon in Wyoming.
I asked the best question.
Yeah, and I wish I could remember the name of it for you. Maybe, circle back or something. And,
did it smell like smoke? Did it have bullet holes?
It didn't have bullet holes. It didn't smell like smoke, but it did have that great old piano smell.
Wow, so, awesome.
It's a wonderful, wonderful piano.
I'm guessing your mom being the caliber of pianist you're describing, it was tuned pretty well.
It was almost always really in tune, which is very nice, and it's still very in tune. If I go over there and play it, it's in tune, and that makes me happy.
Not many old Wyoming saloon pianos will be in good tune.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you can quote me on that. It's kind of a rule of thumb.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So then our friend was playing the classic rock here and there.
Uh-huh.
And we were like, boy, we want to do that.
Uh-huh.
So what was our first guitar?
My first guitar was a Martin Sigma.
Nice!
My parents gave me. And I guess I shouldn't say it was really mine. I mean, it's kind of theirs, but they just,
the house
free rein
guitar.
with it. Yeah, yeah.
I see.
And then I think after that, my next guitar, I got like an Alvarez.
Okay.
And I got like a Gretsch acoustic.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. I ended up selling that to a friend though, who got it for a kid, so it went to a good home.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I had a few electrics in high school. I honestly don't really even remember that well.
Right. Sure.
And then I finally got a Gibson J45 when I graduated.
Oh, wow.
My parents got that for me for a graduation present. It's a great guitar.
Sure.
But then I got into bluegrass.
Right.
Sorry, I'm totally off the.
No, it's go ahead. You're doing fine.
But anyway, I got into bluegrass, and so probably really shortly after getting that guitar, and it just never gave me the bluegrass sound that I wanted. You know, it has a nice sound, but it just wasn't that kind of sharp. Just a nice bluegrass sound,
sure.
like a Martin has.
Right.
You know, you hear from Tony Rice or someone like that.
So then you're in the awkward position of saying, Mom, Dad, this J45 is nice, but...
Yeah. In fact, yeah, for sure. So, yes, they got me this guitar, and they love it. Like,
right.
Oh, that's just the nicest sounding guitar in the world. So, I had to, I ended up sending it off to this guy in North Carolina.
Yeah.
His name's Dan Lashbrook. He does, controversial work, and if he sees this out there, it gets out there. I mean, absolutely not saying anything bad about it. I think he does great stuff.
Sure.
He actually worked on Norman Blake's guitar and some other pretty reputable musicians.
But there are a certain set of people in the world who would say this man vandalizes guitars.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because he kind of takes some bracing out and things like that. Yes, that could devalue your instrument.
Sure. Right. Yes.
And I believe he did with the J45 too. But when I got it back from him, I thought it sounded way, way better.
Oh, hey, nice.
But it really sounds nice. It still wasn't a Martin.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Eventually, I started hunting for a Martin or something kind of like a Martin.
Did your parents notice the difference in the sound of the J45?
Yeah,
they
definitely.
did.
Yep.
Did they think it was really good too, or were they like, "Sacre bleu, what did you do?"
No, they liked it.
Oh,
they liked the sound difference, and honestly, I mean, in my opinion, it really did just sound better. It
right.
had more punch, more volume.
Huh.
Yeah. It put jumbo frets on it.
Oh.
Changed the end pins, ebony end pins.
Okay, right.
Bone bridge and bone nut. Yeah. Waverly tuners.
Jumbo frets is a necessary sacrilege. There, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, that's one of those things. Like, I'm not even sure these aren't jumbo frets. I don't think.
No.
It's not something I think about that much.
Right.
Or really even notice.
Sure. Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Yeah.
I think the reason he actually put them on is because I can't see it too much on this guitar because these are stainless steel, right? Aren't they the harder ones?
I believe
stainless steel, yeah.
Yep.
And anyway, so if you look here, got some pretty serious grooves.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So I think that's why he did that, because he's like, then you don't have to replace your frets every 6 months or whatever.
Right. 6 months is playing quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's 18 hours a day. There.
I don't think I play 18 hours a day or ever have.
Right.
But I do grip the guitar.
You got gorilla hands. You get right after
Way
it.
too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bad habit.
So I'm getting the impression that you never really have been much of an electric player.
I haven't, and I always intend to. It's always like, I'm going to start playing electric more and that sort of thing.
So my only question is, you can't remember much about your electric guitars. Do you remember anything of your amps that you had during this time?
Yeah, so I actually have this crate that I still have today. It's a crate tube amp. It's a crate vintage. It's not actually vintage, but it's like, well, vintage. Now it's practically vintage.
Right.
I got it at a pawn shop 15 years ago or a little more. So anyway, I had that. And then what else? I have PV.
Okay.
I don't have that one anymore, and that was kind of like it was a solid state, but I think it had emulated a tube or something like that.
It was maybe had the trans tube technology.
That's what it was called. Yep, you know it. Yep.
They have a cult following.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that being said, I actually do have electric guitars now. I have, I thought about bringing them, but I already brought enough.
Sure.
I have a 49 or 39, really old National Hollow Body.
Wow.
Which has like one of the bodies of the old Gibson.
Sure.
Right? What are they called? ES something or another?
Electric Spanish is what it stands for.
Oh,
ES.
Okay. Yeah. It actually has a body that's built by them, but it's a National guitar.
Okay.
And it still has the original electronics and stuff. It's really pretty cool.
Okay.
So I have that, and then I have one of the thinner. See, I told you I'm not much of a gear nerd.
It's all good. It's fine.
I don't even know what some of my guitars are called. But it's like a thinner body.
Okay.
Electric.
Okay. Like a semi-hollow.
No, it's full hollow.
It's full
just
hollow.
Thinner.
Okay.
So there's the big thick ones that have like basically an acoustic body.
Right.
And then there's ones that are like, I don't think there's any here.
Nothing here. No.
But just thinner. It's like this.
Right.
This thick,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
There you go.
Yeah. And then what else do I have? I've got a Fender Telecaster copy that someone in Wyoming gave me when I was helping my partner with her master's thesis. We were interviewing people, and we were interviewing people in Sundance, Wyoming. These people invited me in, and they just gave me this guitar. It's a Telecaster copy.
That's the dang honest story I haven't in here.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
That's a great guitar.
Huh.
So yeah, but you're right. I don't play electric guitar much.
Right.
But someday.
Well, I just had to ask about your amps because that's important on the show. I'm guessing you've never been much into pedals so far.
Not too much. I mean, I've had like a distortion pedal, a wall pedal. I've had a few pedals, but honestly, I couldn't tell you much about them at this point. It's been a while since I used them.
We probably need to move on. You and your partner, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Tell us about Humbletown.
Humbletown. So we've had this band ever since we met. Because that's kind of part of how I got to know Morgan. In fact, it is. She was playing with a band in Sioux Falls called Hard Traveling.
Okay.
And so I came. My other friend in the band that I've been good friends with, Connor Peterson, he invited me to come out to Sioux Falls and play a show with Hard Traveling.
Okay.
And Morgan played in that band. And so, we just kind of hit it off, and the rest is history. But there's a really cool story between, and maybe if I play a song later, maybe this is a good one to play, but the song called Whippoorwill.
Okay.
So I come to practice with Hard Traveling, and my friend Connor is like, hey, Morgan knows that Whippoorwill song that you play. And so this is a song that I'd been playing, and I'd learned from another friend, and I've taught it to a bunch of friends.
Right.
And so everyone around the Black Hills and some people in Sioux Falls kind of got to know it a little bit. And then she was like, hey, I brought that song here. So it turns out this song Whippoorwill, that I'd been playing for a while and showed some other people, she actually learned it from her banjo teacher in Berkeley, California.
Wow.
Where she was from. And the friend that I learned it from, his name's Sean McFarland, she taught it to him.
Oh my goodness!
So it kind of came full circle.
Right.
And now we're,
Awesome. So Humbletown is 2-piece. Is it always 2 pieces or?
No, it is not always 2 pieces. It varies a lot. So the default is sort of a 2-piece. It's Morgan and I. We've had a lot of different lineups for Humbletown. For a while we had this bass player named Roy from Sioux Falls, and Connor Peterson, who I just told you about, he plays cello. He played cello with us. So,
okay.
So for a while, it was a 4-piece with Roy on bass and Connor on cello.
On cello.
Wow. And that had a really neat sound. And then the pandemic kind of hit, and and then after that, we were kind of gearing up to move, so we kind of did it more as a duo. But on our album, which I think I brought some along, I'll have to give you one before I go.
I would appreciate that.
But on our album, we had Dalton Coffey. So he's the guy that produced our album.
Okay.
And he did an amazing job, and was really, really, really stoked to get to work with him.
Sure.
He plays dobro.
Oh, okay.
And but he also, like on the album, he played dobro, bass, mandolin.
Wow.
Kind of everything, and then had some. I let him take the artistic reins with the production as well too, because I just love his ideas and stuff. So.
I see.
Yeah. So anyway, it really varies a lot, and so on our limited CD release show, Dalton played with us. When we do our which will practically be our next show, we're doing a few smaller shows around the area, but not too much until we take a break, get ready for our baby.
Sure. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You betcha.
And then when we do our CD release, or our full CD release show, where we release it on the internet and print vinyl and all that stuff, we're gonna have a bunch of guests. So I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna look like. Alex Massa is committed.
Perfect.
So he's for sure gonna do it with us. But we'll probably have a lot of people, hopefully.
And Old Faithful is gonna have at least 2/3 of Humbletown back at that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will return, and Morgan will be here as well. Yeah. I think we need to talk about gear now.
Okay.
Had I known that this man owned one of these, I would have had him on much, much, much sooner. This is I'm just going to go ahead and nerd out a bit. Okay. This is hopefully I didn't get it out of the shot, is a Selmer copy, also called a Macaferry. This was the weapon of choice of none other than Django Reinhardt. And it is a gypsy jazz guitar. And this one, I'm going to get really fancy, is a petite bouche, which is French for small mouth. You knew that, right?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
I told you, I know very little about my gear.
So let's start with this one. Tell us why you picked it.
Why did I pick it?
With it?
Okay, so it's a really long story.
Okay.
So I have a friend, his name's Trevor Mason. He plays with the 6 Mile Road Bluegrass Band.
Okay.
And he was really into gypsy jazz for a while.
Right.
Django Reinhardt type music, and he got this guitar used. It already had the cracks.
Is it crazy? Yeah. It looks very cool.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, so he got it for a pretty good deal, and then he decided he just wasn't didn't play it enough or whatever. So so he sold it to me. And I was just paying a little at a time, and then he was just like, "Yeah, just keep it." I'm like, "No, I wanna pay for it." He's like, "No, just have it, to get more use out of it." So honestly, I mean, and I have used this thing so much. It's just really, really a faithful guitar. Anything jazz, it just sounds so good.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it have electronics, or it's a true Macaferry?
No, it doesn't have electronics, although I really need to consider getting some electronics in it, because I just started joined a new jazz band, I should say, with Alex, called Alexander's Good Eggs, and I play this guitar mostly.
Okay.
And I usually have to mic it.
Sure.
So if we're at some sort of loud a bar or something like that, it's very hard to hear very well.
Yeah.
If you turn the mic up loud enough to get a good volume, then all of a sudden you got feedback.
Sure.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, but a purist, that's how they do it.
Exactly. And so I kind of have this thing where I hate putting electronics to my guitar, because they sound better without having anything weighted.
You have to learn how to hold still, though, which is difficult.
Yeah,
that's the worst of it.
Yeah.
So that's that guitar.
So,
we better move on. We'll talk about this one on the wall next, I think. And this here is Dylan's personal guitar. It is not for sale here at Perfect Way. Tell us about
Please
this
don't
one.
sell it. So that's a Collings D2 HT. Yeah, I bet a quick Google search would tell you more about the actual guitar than I could tell you.
Okay.
But I absolutely love it. I actually
Sure.
bought that from my friend Dalton, because he got a Martin.
Okay.
Martin, what is it called? No, he got a Martin vintage D18. So Martin's making these new
Right.
vintage D18s and D28s and stuff that are like really, 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 really awesome.
Sure.
But they're also extremely expensive.
Right.
So anyway, so he was selling his Collings, and so I got it, and it was pretty much as simple as that. You know, I barely played it before getting it, even though it was a large purchase, just because I just had it in my mind that I want a Collings.
Right.
And said I got a Collings for sale, and I'm like, okay,
There you
I'm
go.
just gonna get it.
You'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it was just a good deal, and it was available, and
Did you like it? Have you liked it as much as you thought you would?
I have absolutely loved it
Yeah.
as much as I thought I would. I mean, I did actually play it before,
Right.
before
Sure.
buying
Yeah.
it, but not that much. You know, I just kind of came and gave it a few strums and picked a few tunes on it. I was like, all right.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, and I cannot say enough good things about Collings. I mean, I have a Collings mandolin. I played lots of other Collings. I've never,
They're
played
fine.
on one that
Fine guitar
wasn't
company.
awesome. Yeah.
Collings, as we've discussed on the show, is based in Austin, Texas. Boutique. Some people wonder at what volume you stop being boutique, but the point is very, very, very quality crafted instruments in Austin, Texas. And this particular one and many of them are Martin copies. So if you're looking for the bluegrass sound, a Collings is an excellent way to go, which brings us to this one.
Yeah. And yes, indeed, speaking of that, so that's actually a copy of a D28 or a DH28.
Yeah.
28H, how do you say that? Herringbone D28.
Right, yeah.
It's a copy of an older one of those. So.
Sure.
But yeah, it's really out of tune. But yeah, so this is my Martin D18. This is a 1971 Martin D18. I picked it up at a Guitar Center probably 6 years ago or something.
Okay.
Like that, in Denver.
Oh.
I just played a few notes on it, and I just kind of was like, okay.
This
And
is
it
the
was
one
a-
for me.
It was a very good price compared to what I'd imagined paying. For
Sure.
a vintage Martin.
Right.
Yeah, it was really well priced, and I was like, wow, this seems too good to be true. But I'll grab it, and you'll notice there's a little bit funky of a pick guard, and you can kind of see the unfinished wood around it.
Right.
So the pick guard was falling off, and so got him to take $100 off for that. And
Oh,
put
I see.
this guy on here. And
So is that the original pick guard or is that
no. See, this is a new pick guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So.
That explains why it looks so interesting. It is very striking.
Yeah, it's got the tortoise shell look. It's not
Right.
actual tortoise shell.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
All right.
illegal, and I think they're endangered. So.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we don't want to be doing that, do we?
Yeah.
No.
So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you done anything to that guitar?
I have. So this is actually, speaking of electronic stuff, I got this LR Bags pickup. I don't know if you can see that on the camera at all. Probably not. But you can probably see it.
I can see it. Yes.
Yeah. And so this actually has, I think it's called the piezo pickup. And
Right.
and then a little mic that sits
Microphone.
under there.
It is,
Oh.
in fact, the LR Bags anthem. The gold
There you
standard
go.
in
Yeah,
electrified acoustic sound these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love it. But and now you know how your memory can be deceiving.
Right.
Now I feel like this guitar is way too quiet, and it might be the heavy pickup.
Sure.
I don't know.
Right.
And so now if I go to bluegrass jams and play it acoustic, it's just not. It's not.
Not loud enough.
Yeah, it's not cutting it. The Collings, on the other hand, that thing is.
Then you
beast.
take the Collings.
Yeah. But I just love the way this pickup sounds.
Sure.
I've also got LR Bags DI as well.
Right. Do you think the added stuff in the body actually made it quieter, or it's just your perception?
I think it made it quieter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it was just always quiet, and I didn't feel like it was a quiet guitar when I bought it.
Right.
So.
Huh.
But yeah, I'll probably leave it in, and then this is my plug-in guitar.
Right.
It's my
Yeah.
not plug-in guitar. So,
Right.
And I don't think that, and I mean, maybe you have opinions on this, but I don't think necessarily the little pickups like the K&K twin pickups or whatever, I don't feel like they weight the guitar down enough to really affect the sound. But I feel like these big bulky guys kind of do dampen the sound a little bit with all that.
I think we all believe what we want to, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some things I would say, oh, that's a bunch of snake oil, but you'll swear by it, and that's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Someday I'll take it out, maybe not, and then I can see for
exactly
for real. But so yeah.
That's why we come to Old Faithful for stories like that.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. He has not been on the show. Tommy Emmanuel. You know who Tommy Emmanuel is.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He has a theory that a guitar will get used to a certain brand of strings. So you have to switch it up to keep. I'm not making this up. This is what he said. You have to switch your brand of strings to keep your guitar on its toes.
Okay.
That's his theory. Which is wackadoodle, but I love it.
Yeah.
That theory.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
So anyway, this will come out the Monday after Christmas, actually.
Oh, okay.
So in the new year, you're going to be focused on having a baby in the beginning. Are you doing any shows in the beginning of the year, though?
Yeah. So I wish I would have looked at my schedule before I came here.
Where can we look at your schedule? Let's go that way.
That's a great question. So Humbletownband.com.
Okay.
And I know we're playing twice in Sturgis, one of the breweries there.
Okay.
We're playing 2 shows in Sturgis, or one at the last weekend of January, one at the first weekend of February. We're playing at the Shooting Star Bar, also in January. Towards the end of January, which is a really cool.
The Shooting Star Bar.
Yeah, the Shooting Star Bar. I want to actually give a little plug. Because Deb Lux is doing the booking. I don't know if you know her.
I don't know her, but I'm familiar with her.
Awesome person, awesome music promoter, awesome singer. But she's doing a music series.
Okay.
Shooting Star Bar in Blackhawk.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's right by the Family Dollar, and it's just a small, kind of humble bar, but it's a great listening space, and I just love what they're doing. Yeah.
Awesome.
I played there with Alex a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and I loved it. There was no one requesting Freebird. There was no,
Don't mention that. He'll show up.
Yeah. No, but it was a really nice place. So I was just impressed. It was almost like, as musicians, especially folk musicians, you're always wanting to play in a listening room.
Right.
And so that was actually, it was like a listening bar.
Sure.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of sits there and listens. So really neat.
It does get a little disheartening if you're not even sure they realize you're there.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, I don't know about you, but if you're playing alone, it feels just very vulnerable. You're playing alone.
Then, every time, without fail, the person in the crowd that you pick out, and in a 2-hour show, you will pick somebody out and say, okay, that guy completely not paying attention to me at all. That he probably wasn't here for me in the first place, but holy cow, this dude is obnoxious, not paying attention. He will be the one that will come up to you after the show and be like, man, that was so good, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Every single time.
Yep, I completely agree.
God bless you, obnoxious weirdo, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah, no, and that's such a great point, because so many shows that I play, maybe a restaurant or a brewery or something, and I start to feel quite disheartened at some point in the show, because I'm just like, no one's listening. No one likes this. I just wish they would just turn the radio up, And then I get done playing, and then 10 people come up and they're like, man, I really enjoyed that. And, and the people working there are like, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Everyone really enjoyed it. I'm like, okay, cool. It wouldn't have known it.
Sure.
But, My friend has a theory that that's a Midwest thing. Midwesterners are a bit reserved.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
We're very white and very Lutheran most of the time. Yeah. Don't want to get too fancy.
Yeah.
But inspirational holiday message from Old Faithful. You never know who's paying attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so, are we ready? Is there anything else we need to talk about? You and Morgan will be back on when the grass is green in the spring.
Yep.
And I'm looking
absolutely.
forward to that.
Yep.
Look for Humbletown online.
Yep, www.humbletownband.com.
Hey, perfect.
Or you can
website.
follow us on Facebook, which just search for Humbletown Band on Facebook.
Maybe
We'll come
mention
right
the
up.
name of your new album.
So the name of our new album is The Path I Chose to Walk.
The Path I Chose to Walk.
Yep,
You can
and
look that up
so,
online.
and we actually, if anyone's interested, we have a few left of our, we only printed 100.
Okay.
We've got a few
Alright.
dozen left of those. So if anyone wants to, send us an email or something or whatever, we can get
Sure.
those to them. And then we'll have, like I said, the full release in the spring. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to it. Are you ready to play?
I could.
A song?
Yeah. I'd
We
happily
will.
play a
I will
song.
do my little dog and pony show at the end here. Maybe you can tune while I'm doing that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
And then, remember my sponsorship with Trask Hay LLC. Large, round, and square bale, but more importantly, custom haying services. You may have a hay crop you need put up next year. Call Joe Trask, 515-0858. And locally here, I don't know where he's from actually, but Dalton Coffee says change your strength. Who is welcome on the show, by the way. So
he's from Sioux Falls.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yes, I would love Sioux Falls people on the show. It's been logistically difficult so far, but that would be nice. So when you get done tuning, we'll have a song. And you can do that whippoorwill if you want it.
Yeah, maybe I will, or maybe I'll do one off the new album if that's.
Hey, absolutely. It's your choice. By the way, while he's tuning, and he might not get to display this here, being he's playing solo, but this man's lead playing, as I told him the other day, is very Jerry Garcia-esque. If you love Jerry Garcia, you will love this man right here.
Well, I appreciate that. It's very flattering.
Your jazz rhythm is very admirable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have a lot of fun playing that stuff.
I had
so.
trouble finding any mistakes. You hide them well.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Hiding, keyword. 'Cause, that's something I've loved. I've loved playing jazz for a long time, but it's just it's a new thing for me doing
Sure.
it. Playing gigs and
Sure,
that type
yeah.
of stuff. So, what song should I play? I'm thinking, I'll play song from the new album. All right, so this is it's called "Fade to Nothing." Here comes that old line be sad now, just don't forget how to let what you love go. And the birds will sing their songs when have for so long, but you keep moving on like a freight train, and seeds they still change to the forest that they laid, but I'll remain sane, slowly fading nothing.
Woo! I like that! Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.